everybody. Flip and Danny and our special guest, Ben, is with us today. Welcome to another episode of our podcast, which is called
Freedom Through Passive Income.
There we go. Welcome again to another episode. And to explain, we already did one yesterday, or it might have been whenever these air. But the recording that we just did was, what Ben was talking about is, if you had Flip and Danny to go out to coffee, which would just be me again.
I'll have soda.
Okay. Well, they've got the chocolate stuff.
There you go.
But anyway, what would we talk about? And so we called the first episode Coffee Talk. And so this one is Coffee Talk 2. Dos. Yes. So welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk. Take it away.
Yeah,
All right.
take it away.
Next question. Can anybody really be successful in real estate? I mean, there's people, there's people who are watching, they're just, realizing the potential here in the real estate investing. But I mean, again, maybe this is kind of going back to, is destiny for some people, not others. Maybe it involves their expectation about financially, how they see themselves financially. Really. I mean, I know you guys work hard, you're energy, you're bold, you're courageous, you're responsible, you learn. For someone just starting out, can anybody be successful in real estate?
I think that's a really, really hard question. I'm going to answer it from a point of experience and watching people. I will say that people who go out and do it on their own and think, hey, this is real estate, I can do it, I can figure it out. I would say a majority of them on their own fail. And it's sad to think about, but they didn't surround themselves with the people who are going to help them overcome the obstacles as they come, or they didn't learn what obstacles come when you're flipping a piece of real estate or when you're doing a transaction. So they weren't prepared to get over the hurdle in the first place. And a lot of it is a matter of who you are, what's your work ethic, do you have other things that are taking your time and attention away where you can't be focused here. What grit level do you have? Are you an active investor or are you a passive investor? So there's so many different variables. In the variable that I just spoke of, it was an active investor, example. But I would say on the other end of the spectrum, if you did go into it, like we just talked about yesterday, ask your questions, get comfortable with what you're about to do. Know that you've surrounded yourself with people who have done it and can actually give you some experience and advice on when you hit that roadblock. They can go, here's what you do now. Or here, let me partner with you and let me help you out of this situation and lift you up. Then that's when you succeed. And that lesson, I don't think is active or passive specific. I think it goes both ways. Because yesterday we were really kind of talking about passive investing. This example, I just threw it into active because that's how we started and how I've learned and the type of people we know the most.
Do you think that most people that are entering into real estate, they realize that the probabilities of succeeding in real estate are much greater when you work together with others, that before they learn that, they think, well, I got to learn this, I have to master this, I have to master this in order to be successful. Like, I have to do everything. Do you find that a lot of people that you work with through the years, it was really freeing to them when they realize I don't have to figure everything out. Mm-hmm. I can team up with people and be able to succeed.
Yes, I absolutely think so.
Yeah, it's interesting because, we have the mindset of let's work with as many people as possible, mm-hmm. The abundance mindset. But there are still so many people out there that that's mine. That's mine. You can't, I'm not sharing with you. I'm out for my own. And there's still that attitude out there. And with Facebook and social media paint real estate investing, number one, as easy. And they make it seem as if anyone can do it. But Danny and I know if it was easy,
everybody would do it.
Right. And so it paints the wrong picture. And so when you would ask, can anyone be successful in real estate? I laughed because, if I can do it, anyone can do it, right? But then you're right. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes, everything you just talked about. It takes your circle of influence, the people around you, and so it's not easy. It's not, it's not something that you want to do on your own. You don't want to be the lone soldier out there, the Lone Ranger. Sorry, because you want that that team, even if you're still working by yourself, whatever, but you still want that support group. And it's just, I think social media paints, because you only see the good things on social media. And so, well, if that guy can do it, I can do it, and then you find out 4 months later, they're off working a 9-to-5 job somewhere else now because they quit, because they realized it wasn't easy and it actually takes hard work. So, yeah, I was just re-emphasizing everything you just said. So.
Yeah. And to your point, I do think it is freeing that when people realize I can do this and I can succeed, almost 100% succeed if I am surrounded by people who are doing it with me. Mm-hmm. I think that is a confidence booster. It helps people jump into the water when they otherwise would have been like, I'm not going to do it. And I think that's what we try and capitalize on. And I think that now more than ever before, people are understanding that, right? Social media is helping, podcasts, things like that. People are, even if you're an introvert and you don't like getting out there and asking the questions, you get to hear all of these conversations and you're like, ooh, that's possible.
Yeah, if there was a chart graph on the Freedom family of companies, it was going, and slowly, increasingly, more and more. And then we went to our first mastermind, and it skyrocketed because we realized immediately who we had in our corner, and we could reach out to these people at all times. And that's really when it at least I believe that's when it really skyrocketed.
The association, and as far as self-esteem and expectation, did it change your expectation and self-esteem about what you felt that you could do?
For sure, you feel more confident, right? Because I actually tell people, I said, come talk to us. Like we're like little people, and like you wouldn't even believe we've built what we've built, and you will absolutely talk to us. Realize that we're not saying. We're talking, we don't have this huge vocabulary. We're not super intelligent. Like I meet people smarter than me every single day. So just sit down and have coffee with me or your soda or whatever it is. And you're going to think that you can tackle anything in the world because you just realized look what they did. And I think it's empowering, honestly. And I tell people it's not embarrassing at all. It's like, hey, if we can do it, you can do it too. Because you have that confidence. It is a confidence booster. It's a self-esteem booster. And it happened to us. We looked at other people and we're like, okay, I've got strengths that you lack. So I think that I can do what you can. And I see the strengths where I lack. So I'm going to go to you and ask for help when I need you. And that really made us realize we can do absolutely anything that we want. We continue to keep surrounding ourselves with the people that align with our mindset and the path that we're on.
So just as those associations have benefited you, would it be fair to say to the viewers that the Complete Freedom Companies team is, in a sense, very real sense, their mastermind group? Because they can call us up and talk to us, whether it's on the turnkey side or us on the freedom side, as far as the Freedom Capital Investment side. So would that be fair to say on that?
Absolutely. The very first podcast that we created was Real Talk. And what was it? It was so that they could see an inside peek to the family of companies and the day-to-day things that we had, so they could go, oh, okay, well, I need to talk to Steve about this. I need to talk to Ben about this. And that's really what you and CJ do, right? On the investor relations team, you guys know the entire family of companies and what we do. So your brain trust is like to tap into you and for you to go, you can do this, you can do this. What are your goals? Because I can tell you, based on our family of companies, all the different things and the advantages and how they meet your goals or don't meet your goals, you can make a much better decision. So yeah, I think it's why, I love this family of companies and being able to talk to somebody like you.
It's really fun to associate with them. We just had a wonderful barbecue grill out here,
yes.
Between episodes here. So for listeners, we want to be a resource for you. It's an honor really to be able to talk with you and answer your questions and help out. Again, stepping back, our intention of our companies is to provide for you an ongoing pipeline of investments that are profitable, that are real estate backed, and in the process of that, to be able to give you the support, which starts with that education, that gives you the answers and the education that you need so that you can start to build your own momentum in reaching your real estate investment objectives.
Love it.
And for those of you keeping score at home, we're real people, and we don't want to act like we're, special or anything like that. In this episode, Danny actually said a word that is 5 syllables, so you used your one for the month. So very good job.
And I don't even know what it was.
Vocabulary.
That's hilarious.
We hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure you're heading on over to our website, freedomcapitalinvestments.com, to join the Investor Club, and make sure you're checking us out on all the social medias as well. But we like to end all of our episodes with
Invest smart.
Live happy. Bye everybody. Nothing on this show should be considered specific, personal, or professional advice. Please consult an appropriate tax, legal, real estate, financial, or business professional for individualized advice. Opinions and information on the show are not guaranteed. All investment strategies have the potential for profit and loss.